Me again. Hi, this is Crystal from All Bodies Welcome Hair Removal in Campbell, California, which is in the San Jose area of the Bay Area. I do permanent hair removal. Now, I want to talk to you a little bit more today about the first appointment. The first appointment is the most difficult appointment when you're going to go see an electrologist. Trust me, I know. I put it off for years and years. Everybody's worried about how much it's going to hurt and how much it's going to cost. But the good news is that it doesn't hurt that much, and it can be expensive, but we can also be smart about how we do this. We can be strategic. We'll come up with some tactics when we first talk. So first thing we do when we have to fill out this form, I need to know a little bit more about your hair goals, which hair is bothering you, which hair you want to remove. Do you want to remove hair from your lip, your chin, your neck, your Frida Kahlo? Some people want to do their hairline. Some people want to do their sideburns. Some people want to do their underarms, their breasts, their big toes, their knuckles, you name it, we can do it. And the coolest thing about electrology is that it's permanent. So once we get the hair gone, it's gone forever. You might not know this, but laser hair removal is hair diminishment. Electrolysis is hair removal, permanent hair removal. So we have to cover a couple things in a consultation. Obviously, your name and all that good stuff, information, emails, cell phone, excuse me, all that good stuff. But I need to know what you want to remove, and then I need to know your experience. How have you been removing your hair over the years? Have you been plucking it? I hope not. Shaving it is good. Trimming it is good. No plucking, no yanking out by the bulb, no sugaring, no waxing. Especially when you're in treatment, you don't want to do any of that stuff. Did I mention it's day 35 of the quarantine, by the way? It is. It's day 35 of the quarantine. So, okay. So how long have you been trying to remove your hair? Let's say you have chin hair that you hate. Have you been trying to remove for 20 years, 10 years, 5 years, 1 year? Is it new? Is it hormonal? Most of us grow hair during puberty, pregnancy, and perimenopause. That's me, perimenopause, good times. And then let's say if you're transitioning, you want to transition, you want to have all of your facial hair removed because you're transitioning to female, then usually all that hair has to be gone. All the hair basically from here down has to go away. So it's a big project. The other thing we like to ask you during an electrolysis consult is we like to ask you how much laser hair removal have you had? Where has the laser hair removal been done? How much microdermabrasion have you had done? How many IPLs have you had done? Are you doing them right now? Because we're going to need to give it some time if you're still doing peels and things like that. I need to know all this stuff. I need to know your history so we can make sure we do the perfect appointment for you. We'd also want to know, do you sometimes get cold sores? Like for me, I sometimes get cold sores inside of my nose. And so I need to know if you sometimes get cold sores on your lips or your nose or your chin. We want to be careful on the weeks or the times when you get them to be careful about how we treat that skin later because we don't want it to grow. We don't want to exacerbate a cold sore, and I don't want to actually bring one out. Heat and stress and things like that can, trigger a cold sore. No problem if you get one. That's okay. We were very sanitary. Everything's sterilized. We only use one probe per person. It's disposable, so once we use it on a person, it goes in the recycler, little hazmat recycler. So it's okay if you get cold sores. We don't want to make sure that we don't exacerbate yours. We need to know things like, do you have any metal in your body? Do you have any new joints, new hips, new knees, new anything? Because you have to know where to have you hold the ground. And then do you have a pacemaker, which I doubt unless you're, of a certain age. And then we need to know, do you have any sensitivities? Are you sensitive to, like we use antiseptic on your skin to get rid of your moisturizer and your makeup? Are you sensitive to heat? Are you sensitive to noise? Do you have a lot of metal in your mouth? Those things are going to be, it's okay. We just have to kind of adjust and kind of know what we're up against, what you have going on with you so we can make sure we do a good job for you. We also want to know about your allergies, if you have any, and then we like to get a signature on the bottom line. Just sort of acknowledging that you understand how electrolysis works. I'm going to teach it to you, I'm going to explain it to you, and I'll explain it several times over the course of your appointments so you understand why it takes more than one appointment to remove a hair permanently. Sometimes we'll get lucky and we'll remove it the first time permanent for good, but sometimes we don't get that lucky. We have to go back into that follicle and get that the little papilla, the little bulb that grows the new hair. So it's not like going to get a wax where you go get a wax, everything's gone for 4 to 6 weeks. It's a process, so it takes a little bit of time. So this is our form, it's our intake form. I like to ask these questions of you before our appointment. And then I keep it in our files, and as we go along, as we do your treatments, I keep track. So I keep track of the dates you were here, where we remove the hair, and what type of modality I used. Most of the time I use blend, but sometimes I do use thermolysis and straight galvanic. So I like to keep track of that hair. The other thing I like to know before we start an appointment is whether or not you have PCOS, because we know PCOS can be more difficult to remove those hairs, but we can get them, I promise you. It just takes a little more tenacity. If you have any questions for me and you want to know more about my practice, you can call me or text me at 408-826-9087. Or you can always send me a private message here through my Facebook page or my YouTube channel. Thanks, you guys. Happy quarantine. Can't wait for it to end. Bye. See you soon.